What's up guys, it's Larko and today we've got a video on the new Dark Creations seasonal event called Killswitch. Before we get into today's video, please do make sure to leave a like and a comment down below on your thoughts on this game mode and how you feel about it. Maybe you'd agree with a lot of the points I'm making in this video. I don't know, it's quite a negative video, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not too impressed, but let me know how you feel down below and make sure to subscribe. Now at first glance, this mode seems to be promising and then you are very quickly let down. In the background, you're gonna be seeing some gameplay of Spearhead and Redacted. I'll add Redacted in as well, just so you can see how poor the spawns can be and how spawn trapping can be such a huge issue in this game. I mean, it's no secret, everybody knows Redacted's terrible for spawn trapping anyway, but they somehow made it even worse in this Killswitch game mode. So DICE had like a fairly decent idea when it come to this, and then the execution was just poor, subpar at like a bare minimum. So the Spearhead game you're watching right now, I've done pretty well, and our team just pretty much flattened theirs. I'm going to be honest, I can't remember how much we won by. I think it was like 5-1. And then the Redacted game, I can't remember, but I played some games after, and it was, God, I'll tell you what, Redacted is probably one of the most difficult maps to play on this game mode. Actually, no, it is the most difficult. So the main issue is 12v12. I feel like the maps are too big in general. Redacted's, it's okay, but it would be better if we had more players. I feel like 16 versus 16 would be far more appropriate for this game mode, or maybe even 20 versus 20, because when you have people playing this game mode, not everybody is going to play the way they should. I had a game on Manifest, and people were just sitting up at the top of the cranes, and they were just sniping. Like, and this was the enemy team as well. We absolutely flattened the enemy team. Maybe I might even put some gameplay of that in here. And it was pretty atrocious. Like, I felt bad for the enemy team in a sense, for the people that were trying. So that's my first issue and concern with this game mode, is the maps being generally too big. The spawns are too far apart, and it takes you 8 seconds to deploy back in. And then you've got to run across the map back to the flag, and capture point, I should say. So the Geists, the AI in this game that you can then release, this is horrific for them. They have a lot of health, okay? They have a lot of health, and if you keep holding that Geist spawn point, they will continue to spawn in, and they will just flood the map. So the Geist spawn points also do not change locations. It is one specific point you're going to fight over to capture them. I feel like they should have been multiple on these maps, and they should alternate, so it gives each team like a fair chance of capturing them, because if you've got a few teammates that just sit on the point and defend the hell out of it, and your team doesn't push it while also trying to hold the objective as well, whoever's initially holding this guy's point will then eventually just overflow the map with them, and it's so incredibly difficult to take him out because they've got more health. And when you're then trying to shoot them and take back this point, you're shooting Geist, you think you're doing well, they've obviously got more health, you're rinsing through ammo, enemies will then just pick you off so easily because obviously you have reduced health. And when I say reduced health, I mean normal health versus for Geists. It's such like a weird dynamic, and like, because that spawn point for the Geist does not change, it's just like a constant battle of fighting AI enemies. And once either you or the enemy team has enough of these Geists on the field, like, you will just flatten the enemy team. There's just no doubt about it. It's just how it works. And with the main capture points for this game mode as well, because your spawn places are so far apart and you're just trying to get to these places throughout the map, if your squad gets wiped, that's it. That is a third of their team done, but then has to then get back to that point. And if they have the Geists or you have the Geists, it's an ever losing battle. There is no way to really come back unless your team makes some incredible comeback. And the only way you can do that is with communication, to be honest. And I played it with some of my mates earlier, like Maz and Arctic and Dusty, and it was okay. Like, at times you were able to bring it back, but one of the worst maps for it was Redacted, and we were winning 4-0, and then they come back 4-0, and then we won 5-4. And with Redacted, the spawns on this, man, I didn't know how they can make a map with such poor spawns even worse. Like, the spawns for Killswitch on Redacted are terrible. You're essentially on like the US side, and both teams just share that one spawn point, left and right hand side, and it's so easy to spawn trap. And then when you have to capture the main point, you've got to basically run across the entire map. That's where it gets to, like, you have to go from one side of the map to the other without being killed, and it's insanely hard if, let's say, the enemy team has just overrun the map with the Geists. It's just that there's so many flaws to this game mode. It feels more like TDM with AI rather than like Killswitch as it being its own thing. It does just feel like TDM with some weird AI that are just like massively overpowered. Now don't get me wrong, you can kill them fairly easily if you're just sustaining fire on them, but again, it lights you up for the enemy team, and the enemies are just going to pick you off straight away. Or vice versa. If you've got loads of Geists down, you can easily pick off the enemies. Like, it's so easy to do. It's quite a weird dynamic. I don't know, I'm not very hot on this game mode. I don't feel like it's going to keep people interested for long. It's extremely, I don't want to say one-sided, but it can be extremely one-sided. Like, it's not tapered to one team normally, unless actually you take into account the spawn points of the Geists, which sometimes are closer to one spawn side than the other. However, I do feel like Spearhead is probably the best way to play this map. If you get that map in this game, it definitely feels like the most thought through. I don't know, Spearhead in general is just quite a good map. In fact, them center points are just great to fight over. You can move through. There's plenty of places to chuck smoke, plenty of cover and stuff. Like, Spearhead is definitely the best experience I've had for this new game mode. Manifest can be okay, but you're out in the open a hell of a lot, and it's so easy to spawn trap. Spearhead is the one exception. Manifest, Hourglass, and Redacted, they do not play well at all. And it's crazy. I don't know how this got past testing, but it has. I'm trying to think of positives for this game mode as well, but to be honest, I really can't, because the games are short. Maybe that's like the one positive, but I don't know. I genuinely can't think of any good things to say about this game mode. I think a lot of people are just going to sweat out for ribbons and stuff, unlock the collectibles, and then just leave it at that, to be honest. But with this disappointing game mode, we do need DICE to bring in more content for the game this season. I don't know if it's going to happen. We're going to have to see. I mean, fingers crossed they do change their mind and bring back some new Vault weapons, but I don't know. There's been a huge surge in player base, so hopefully they can retain them numbers and continue to grow the game. A lot of people, including myself, are playing the finals at the minute because it feels more polished than this, and the destruction and everything in finals is just great. The finals definitely does have its flaws, but I'm enjoying it a lot more than 2042 at the minute, I'm not gonna lie. The light infantry vehicles on this game mode definitely does make it a little bit better and a little bit more manageable, but I'm gonna be putting a clip of this in now of me playing on Manifest. I had no idea, but the Geist actually pull out launchers from their rear cheeks. I don't know why DICE thought this was a good idea, but yeah, they have. I think it's just like a normal M5. I could be wrong. I don't think it's a lock-in on RPG at all, but the bots do in fact have missiles, which is nuts. I couldn't believe that, to be honest. When I saw one pull it out, mate, I was so unbelievably shocked. So yeah, for me, this game has been a big letdown. It is what it is. We've got 128 Conquest alongside 64 now, which is nice. It stayed on there. However, DICE have now removed Infantry Breakthrough and just got regular Breakthrough, which is, oh man, I don't know why they do it. Just keep it 24/7, man. It took them 2 years to have 64 and 128 alongside each other. Why can't you just have Infantry and regular Breakthrough next to each other? That's the only way I can personally play Breakthrough. I just don't enjoy it with vehicles. I feel like there's always like a very specific meta and style to the game. But you know, that's just me. Thanks for watching.